최근 히어로팀 입장에서는 이재호 선수라든가 연보성 선수와 같은 주축 테란 라인은 반드시 승리를 거둬줘야 그날 경기를 좀 쉽게 풀어갈 수 있는 건데 첫 세트에서 구성원 선수에게 무너졌기 때문에 연보성 선수도 부담이 이만저만 아닐 것 같습니다.
상대가 이재동이거든요. 이름만 들어도 무서운 선수 중에 하나인 이재동이라서 부담을 느낄 수 있는 건데 최근에 그 10전 상대 전적을 보자면 5대5로 팽팽하거든요. 근데 프로리그에서 만났다 하면은 연보성이 이겼습니다. 그만큼 연보성은 프로리그에서는 뭔가 이 개인리그와는 달리 좀 더 이 뛰어난 활약을 한다는 건데 자, 이것도 지금은 이 경기도 프로리그 내에서의 경기거든요.
예.
자, 여기서 연보성 승리를 꼭 따내줘야 됩니다. 지금까지 그래왔던 것처럼 말이죠.
이재동 선수가 이 포트리스에선 출전을 안 했거든요.
그렇죠.
오늘 경기 MC게임 히어로 잡아내기 위해서 포트리스에 출격했습니다.
네, 분위기에 따라서 이재동 선수는 어느 맵에서든 출격할 수 있는 이런 상황이었죠. 마음에 부담감이 없으니까요. 반드시 이번 경기를 이기지 않으면 우리가 포스트 시즌에 올라가지 못한다 이런 것들이 이제는 완전히 사라진 이런 상태 아니겠습니까? 그러니까 최대한 경기력을 보여줘라. 그리고 분위기를 우리 것으로 가져오자라는 취지에서 이재동 선수가 이번 그 포트리스에서 출격을 했네요.
네. 자, 위로 드론 보내서 해철이 바로 올리고 있는 이재동 선수.
네.
테란전에서 연승 달리고 있죠.
그렇죠. 예, 또 이 초반 그런 급습에 대비해서 드론 정찰까지 가지고 있는데 연보성 선수는 원배럭 이후에 앞마당 확장 쪽을 계획하고 있는 것 같습니다.
네. 뭐 메카닉이라든가 벌처 나닛 그다음에 레이스 콤보 이런 걸로 분위기 잡아놓고 바이오닉으로 쓸어서 경기 끝내는 이런 양상도 나올 수가 있겠고요. 아니면은 원배럭으로 입구 막아놓고 그냥 노멀하게 앞마당에다가 커맨 센터 내려서 안칠 준비해놓고 그다음에 이제 바이오닉 병력으로 넘어가는 이런 상황을 만들어줄 수도 있겠죠.
네.
뭐 중립 멀티가 있기 때문에 스타포트를 좀 일찍 올리는 이런 케이스로 많이 경기 운영을 하는데 지금은 원바락에다가 멀티 할 생각인 것 같습니다.
추가 해철을 올리고 드론 보내고 있는 이재동 선수고요.
예.
연보성 선수 입구 쪽에 지금 막아요.
예, 정찰을 떠나보내고 좀 뭔가 좀 확실시 돼야 앞마당에 바로 그냥 지을까 결정을 하는 건데 말이죠.
잘 오셨습니다. 잘 어울리시네요. 예, 자, 행복하시길 바랍니다.
예.
잘 오셨어요.
예, 부채가 참 좋네요.
Hey, Xanthias.
고급 부채 같은데 말이죠.
Woot.
당당하세요.
Woot
요즘에 오시는
indeed.
분들은,
네.
카메라 앞에 떳떳하십니다.
네.
드론이 지금 못 들어가고 있죠. 이 심시티 때문에.
네. 커플일수록 이제 당당한 모습을 많이
예.
보이죠.
Almost set up.
우리 힘이 강합니다.
두 분이 그렇죠.
네.
Just make sure the microphone works.
것도 아니고.
네. 혼자 앉아 있다가 이제 또 잡히면은 카메라에 잡히면은 저도 이제 카메라에
Test, 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 test.
그러지 말라라고 이제 방송에서
I think the audio balance sounds pretty good.
그러더라고요. 혼자 가다가 잡히면.
참 민망하죠.
네.
예. 그렇죠. 예, 그것도 이 카메라도 많이 받아봐야.
Got that going, got that
한
going.
분은 지금 카메라를 응시해주시고 한 분은 또 피하셨어요.
Looks like everything is
그렇죠.
set up.
자, 잘 오셨습니다. 자, 오늘 경기 중요한 경기.
네.
지금 화승호주를 오늘
So.
응원해주신 분들이 많이 오셨어요.
예.
Welcome.
지금 또 화승호주 갤러짐 2주년이라고.
It works good? Good, thank you. This is, let me turn this off here.
네. 커피도 아주 맛있게 먹고
This little
있습니다.
thing, because we're not. Oop, no, that's the wrong thing to turn off. That's actually the one that you wanted. C versus J-Dong is this game.
그리고 이제 또
This is from the Pro League from 2010.
오늘이 다 마지막이에요. 그렇기 때문에 이제
Nice little Pro League game.
또 경기를 지켜보시러 오신 것 같아요.
C Shield was never very good in the individual leagues, but in the Pro League he was a star. So this is a good match here. What is that? Is that a train ticket? Hold on, I'm gonna go back. I think I'm trying to see if I can figure out like where it's from.
8시 차를 타셨네요.
I think they took the train from somewhere to get here. I think that's what they were showing. Is like they came from like another city. Because I think that was a like an inner city train ticket. Oh, these are cold. Never heard of this? Never heard of what? The Pro League? Or my show? We have a watch party every week. Looking up RL Craft. What is RL Craft? Is that like where you like make models of units and stuff like that? So this is an old Pro League game. This is from a professional team league tournament from many years ago. And there's not really any big team league tournaments anymore, but Both. Okay. So there's not like a lot of team tournaments, but there's still a couple pretty good high-level professional StarCraft tournaments. In fact, Jaedong is one of the players here. He actually was still playing up until recently. I think he's in the military now, because it's required military service in Korea. So anyway, but there used to be a lot of more leagues and stuff, and professional players, professional teams and everything, if you're not aware of the whole pro scene. So what we do is we watch some of the best games from the best players from the best era of StarCraft, when the professional Korean scene was at its height in like 2005 to 2011 or 12, basically. And so Jaedong, if you're not familiar with Jaedong is one of the best players of all time. Probably, you could argue he's one of the best, if not the best, Zerg player in the history of the game. So we're watching a game from him against C Shield, who's the Terran player, who was also very good, but never really won any championships or anything like that. It's Minecraft with 140 mods? Holy crap! 140 mods! What the hell? What can you possibly need 140 mods for? What is... It must be a completely different game, right? That's crazy. I Pro League on Call of Duty, Rust, WoW, old school games. Nice. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I've played a little Minecraft, but I don't know it that well, but it must be pretty nuts, though. Anyway, welcome. If you want to know more about Zoomers looming about Brood War. Hey, he said he's into old school games. He might not be a Zoomer. If he is, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's kind of funny, though, that there are, like, that the game is over 20 years old, and there are people who are younger than this game who are learning about it now, which is kind of funny. So, but I used to be a professional esports caster, if you don't know who I am, and for StarCraft 2 and League of Legends, and I was semi-professional with Brood War casting as well many years ago. So I just like to have a little watch party a couple days a week, every Wednesday and every Saturday, and watch the old games and basically just talk about the games and marvel about how amazing the players were basically back then. So if you have any questions about the pro scene, I know probably 90% of what there is to know about the pro scene from the old days. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'm gonna go throw this in the microwave for another 30 seconds though. So BRB real quick. But ask your questions and I'll answer when I get back if you want.
지금 터렛이 굉장히 많거든요. 이제 이재동 선수가 포켓스가 완성이 되고 하이브급 그런 유닛들이 나왔을 때 과연 얼마만큼 버텨내는지가 중요한 건데 터렛이 지금 많긴 굉장히 많습니다. 앞마당도 그렇고요.
네, 뭐 3개, 3개, 가래쪽에 5개.
Alright, I'll sit and watch while I'm waiting for the microwave to do its work. Love old school games. So what is the point in this game? So does that mean you haven't seen StarCraft at all? Okay. StarCraft is a real-time strategy game, so you can see there's guys mining those blue minerals, and then there's another resource called gas, Vespian gas, and if you've ever played any RTS that's similar, Command and Conquer or Age of Empires or anything like that, it's a similar thing. Basically, the point is you mine the resources, you get buildings that make armies, and then you try and kill the other guy, pretty much. And StarCraft is considered to be the most difficult, most in-depth real-time strategy game ever. Pretty much, because first of all, it is old school, and so it was made before there was fancy interfaces and stuff. You know, the AI is somewhat rudimentary, and so what that means is that in order to play StarCraft at the highest level, you have to be incredibly fast because you have to do everything yourself. You know, you have to be jumping around the map to go to your buildings and build stuff, and go to different places to attack and stuff like that. And so everything that you see going on the screen, except like the drones, the little things mining the minerals, everything you see is being controlled directly by the players. So now we see, for example, the Terran player, who's like basically the humans. There's the humans, and then there you're playing against the Zerg, which is the alien, the sort of gross hive-like alien faction is the red characters in this game. And then there's also a third faction in the game called the Protoss, which isn't in this match. And the Protoss are like the elite, sophisticated alien species. So you've got the gross Zerg, and you've got the Protoss, which are like high-tech type stuff. So there's 3 different races, and so each game is there's a lot of different ways to play the game, because if the Zerg are playing against the Terran, they might use one strategy. If the Zerg are playing against the Protoss, they might use another strategy. So and this is a game which is because there's so much to do, what's often referred to as macro is important, meaning that you're not just controlling your units, you're having to make the units, and you're having to think about your infrastructure and what buildings you're building and do everything very precisely in order to play at the highest level. So that's one of the reasons why it's difficult also. So, alright, get my food, BRB. Hey, Pragmatize.
이 병력이 조합되면 굉장히 무섭겠는데요. 뭐 가디언들이 지상에서 머린들과 그 1대1 대결을 하진 않을 것 같고요. 저글링 울트라 리스크와 합쳐진 상태로 멀리서
How's it going?
하게 됐을 때 머린들은 그냥
Yeah, and fix mistakes being made by the AI. That's true. Because sometimes you might tell the AI to attack someplace, and they will, but they'll get stuck because the AI is bad, and so you have to like babysit the units and make sure the units are doing what you want them to.
보상이 될 때까지, 그러니까 보충이 될 때까지 시간을 버는 겁니다.
디파일러 갖추고 있는 이재동 선수.
How's it going, Mike Eds? How big was C back in the day? Yeah, he never won a tournament. I think the highest he ever got was the quarterfinals. Oh, hot.
저글링과 디파일러, 그다음에 디파일러의 플레이그가 확보가 될 때까지, 그리고 업그레이드가 될 때까지 이재동
I have some fresh tomatoes in here too, and they got heated up. So C was like not big in that sense. Like he wasn't really well known or a star, but he was big in the sense that he was one of the best players on his team, and he was considered to be one of the top players in general, even if he didn't perform well in the individual leagues, basically. So if by big you mean like famous, who's only mildly famous? Only within the StarCraft scene. You know, people like Boxer. Oh, that red stuff that you see is a spell that the Zerg can cast called Plague. It reduces all the hit points of every one of those units to 1 hit point. Makes them really easy to kill. So getting a spell like that on all those units is a big deal. It's a major advantage. That's why he plays StarCraft 2, because the AI doesn't screw up as much. Hey minions, wasn't that a good game? That was a fun game. That's okay. I felt like I was gonna say something else, but I don't remember. What is Sword of the Stars, though, by the way? I've never heard of that. I've played Civ. I played Age of Empires, but I've never even heard of Sword of the Stars.
지킨 상태로 센터 싸움을 해주면서 적의 추가 확장을 계속해서 끊어만 주면 됩니다. 와, 배럭이 예. 배럭이 거의 그러니까 한 번 찍으면 머리 한.
Yeah, although if he's never played StarCraft before, then watching like really iconic big plays wouldn't necessarily mean as much, you know. Yeah, those vessel losses were big.
가디언 쓰기가 좋은 위치는 아니죠. 예, 그렇죠. 이쪽 확장기 이제 깨고 센터 장악하면서 필요하다. 예, 마인도 지금은 여기는 깰 수 있죠. 예, 자 코널부터
Your two goons died to 4 lings because they misfired 3 times in a row. Oh no! And you just uninstalled. You're like, F this game. Did they misfire because of micro, or because they just were trying to move and they screwed up or something?
네, 사이럽된 울트라가 자, 센터 쪽으로 지금 나오고 있죠. 이재동 선수.
시킬 수 있는 그 시간은 짧습니다.
네, 머리 메디 그리고 이 베슬로 좀 버텨줘야 되거든요. 지금 워낙에 이 강력한 유닛이기 때문에 그래도 머리 메디 뭉치면서 자, 하나 세고.
디팔러까지 있으면 확실하게 지금 미는 상황이 나올 텐데.
We got hive tech.
자, 막아내야 되는 거예요 지금.
자, 작전이 좋은 느낌이네요.
Jaedong has hive tech, ladies and gentlemen. The plague, the swarm, the ultralisks. I don't know what you can do against that. When Jaedong has all that. Although he has a lot of marines. Artosis lost his mind because he lost 3 vultures to 1 vulture and 1 marine. Oh no! How does that even happen? If you like don't control your unit, oh, he plagued the depots. That's epic. There's a Jaedong fan in the audience there. The vulture shot missed because he dodged. You can dodge attacks? What? I didn't know you could dodge vulture attacks. Wow. Plague crackling drop. And he kills like 8 depots in a matter of seconds. Amazing. That is so good. It's not instant hit, but I thought the hit follows. The hit should follow to the target, right? So even if they move, the hit should still continue and hit them, right? Unless they run uphill or something. No? Really? Are you sure about that? How have I just found this out? How have I just found this out after 20 years? If you move, the line is still straight. It's fine. You don't have to like go hunting for it or anything. But I'm just like amazed. But I feel like sometimes it does hit though. Like if that was true, whenever units were moving, it would like never hit. It would like never hit. It must be like a occasional thing, right? Because I've seen dragoons hit moving targets. I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, this game keeps surprising me. After 20 years. Still finding out new stuff. It's kind of crazy. Last stream we were talking about casting blind on spider mines and crap. Parasite on a spider mine. Insanity I'd never thought about somehow. I was about to say, maybe C will fight back in this, but I looked at the minimap. Jaedong has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bases. Jaedong has 8 bases right now. And his main isn't even mined out yet, so he's got potential mining at all those. It looks like C took out one of those bases, but He's gonna take out another one, but it just doesn't matter. There's too much stuff here. The ultras must be 5 armor. Yeah, they are.
자, 그리고 이 미네랄 저기 센터 쪽에 있는 확장 기지를 어떻게든 지금은 지켜서 이 병력 잡아먹고 6시로 바로 뛰어야 됩니다.
I forgot.
6시로 바로 뛰어야 됩니다.
예, 시간이 없어요. 지금 이 병력들이 가만히 기다릴 것이 아니라 일단 저 확장들을 부수는 데 사용을 하고
Turn on our little snacks.
네, 6시로 바로 달려서 지금 6시 구역에
Just for the
있는
mood.
해처리 두 군데를 깨야 됩니다. 안 그러면은 지금은 이 6시 쪽에 그 자원을 바탕으로 12시도 살아나고 이러면 울트라가 많아지기 때문에
Yeah.
당연히
How is he holding this? Oh, never mind.
상황이 나오거든요.
He's not holding the center.
자, 6시 제거.
네, 해처리 하나 내주고 6시
I mean,
지켜도 11시가 지금은 해처리가 완성이 되기 때문에
if tearing against a big, ball of Marines, it's very deadly. It's hard for Zerg to deal with. But the ultras with 5 armor is just like too much. Where's the Defiler? Defiler stayed behind. Didn't even need to come along. Maybe the Defiler just went through to hide from the science vessel. She has 3 bases. Like, how is C still in this at all? With 3 bases, and his main is probably mined out. And he lost, remember he lost his whole main too? For like half his main, he lost all those depots and stuff. There's a GG, finally. Jaehyung's such a beast! Yeah, he doesn't give a crap. I think it was also just a thing where you didn't want to ooh, Much versus Jaehyung. That sounds like a good one. I think it was a thing where, like, you know, you didn't want to, it was like rude to be happy because then it was like, you know, rubbing in your opponent's face kind of thing. So I think people usually, I think programmers usually like held back their emotions too. There you go. It's rude to be happy. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is, like, you know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Now I'm saying? Alright, let's see if we can adjust this a little bit here. I love you so much. Oh, it's stretching it. That's not what I meant to do. Uh-oh. How do I turn it off of stretch mode?
이런 건 절대 있을 수 없어요. 예, 그럼요. 그리고 한 팀에게 프로리그에서 4번 연속 졌다라는 것, 스스로도 당연히 빨리 풀어야 쉽지 아니겠습니까? 그렇기 때문에 시리아 투수는 이번 경기에서
It was like stretching the video out. That's not what I meant to do.
팀의 이번 시즌 미래가 달렸습니다. 운명을 жил머지고 싸우고 있어요, 이재동.
You know, it's like if you're celebrating your own victory, you're also celebrating someone else's loss, right? So it's like, I can see where it comes from, that's all. But yeah, it is also kind of a little bit weird. It's like, oh, not allowed to be happy about winning the game. Classic Korea, but Korea is very different culture, or somewhat different culture. Things are done differently there. I was in Scan's chat. Scan was streaming yesterday, and his profile says age 27, Korea 29, and someone said, "Why is it 27-29?" And his response was just, "Because that's how it is. Don't ask me." So I had to answer in the chat, which is that when you're born in Korea, you're 1 year old. 1 year old. And on January 1st of every year, you gain a year of age. The way they count it there. So if you're born on December 31st, on the next day you'll be 2 years old, Korean, even though you're 1 day old in reality. So, you know, it's just things are done differently there, you know? If you're in Korea and you meet someone new, the first thing they ask is, "What's your name?" And the second thing they ask is, "What year were you born?" Or what your age is, basically, right? Because that's like determining who is above and below in the hierarchy, because like age, everything is hierarchical by age in Korea, traditionally at least. Seems like a way to cheat the world's oldest person. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the Guinness Book of World Records doesn't do it that way, you know?
카틀이나 어려운 맵에서 뭔가 속임수가 필요해요. 단순 물량 이런 거는 프로토스 힘들고 박영 선수는 그래서 상대방의 변수 뭐 뮤탈리스크 올인 전략이라든지 이런 것들을 잘 막아내면서
I gotta change my title here actually. I'm gonna change it to
상대편의 의도를 계속 체크를 해야 됩니다. 허를 찔릴 수가 있어요. 괜히 나올 리가 없거든요, 이재동이.
I'm gonna change it to short stream today because I have to go around 8. Around 8ish, so a little bit shorter than normal. But I might have to do shorter on Saturday also. Actually, this week I've got kind of busy. Got other things to do, so I'm gonna have a couple short streams. But I did really long streams the last couple of times, so there you go. Could be wrong about the vultures. Yeah, I don't know. Are you looking on like Wikipedia, I guess? Do younger people treat you more respectful than people older than you in Korea? Yeah, it's kind of it's a respect thing. There's actually and like if someone is much older, it's supposed to be more respect to. It's actually, if you shake someone's hand in Korea, if they're older than you, you're supposed to put your hand on your arm to show respect. So they reach out to shake like this, and you reach out to shake like this. And putting this here is showing that you're being respectful to someone who's older than you. But it depends on how old they are. If they're like 1 year older than you, you do this, and you put your arm farther up to show a little bit of respect. And if they're really old, you do this. So the farther towards your hand your other hand is how much older than they are, and you have to kind of like show that much more respect by putting your hand in a different place. So you'll often see at the end of games when pro gamers shake their hand, watch, and you'll see one of them will put their hand like this when they shake their other one's hand, because they're all kind of close in age. No, it doesn't stop at handshakes. Again, it's different for like the older generation is more traditional there. Younger people aren't as strict, I guess, probably. But yeah, like if you go to a meal with 4 people, and one of them is 50 and one of them is 20, and the other's in between, right? The 20-year-old is supposed to serve everything, right? Meaning like, here's your chopsticks, here's your chopsticks. Oh, do you need more sauce? Here's the sauce. The youngest person like is supposed to be like in a servant type role for everyone else. Even if there's someone that's 21 years old, the 20-year-old is the one that's doing that, right? If you go to barbecue, they're the one that flips the meat on the barbecue and cuts it and stuff like that. But the oldest person at the table pays for everyone at the end of the meal. So it's a very Confucian style of thinking about relationships. If you're not familiar with Confucian, like basically a lot of Confucian relationships involve a protector and a server. So in like in ancient, China or something like that, it would have been that way between a father and a son, or even an older brother and a younger brother, or between a man and a wife. The person in position of power was served by the person below them, but they owed protection to that person below them as well. So they got the service, but they had to take care of the person that was in the lower position. So it's kind of like that way where the oldest person at the table has to take care of everybody by paying for the meal, but the youngest person has to be in a position of service and do things like serving the food. So yeah, it's very, and also, there's even different verb conjugations. So if you're saying hello to someone that's like even status with you, you say 안녕하세요, right? If you're saying hello to a child, it'd be 안녕해요. If you're saying hello to your grandfather, it would be 안녕하십니까. Or no, 안녕. Yeah, 안녕하십니까, I think. I'm not sure if I remember that correctly. But there's like different conjugations too that show different respect to different people, depending on where you are, usually in age. So anyway, there's your rant about Korean culture and age bias and stuff like that. And yes, Moletrap had to be a clean-shaven man, because I heard that having a beard was something that you're supposed to do if you're showing that you're older and you deserve respect, and so I didn't want to be presumptuous by having a beard in Korea. So. Yeah, that DT, like, even though it felt like it just snuck in there too, like Jaedong like knew that DT was there, but it still kind of got away with some kills. It's kind of crazy. Or maybe he didn't. But...
언덕 지역이 얼마나 성큰을 많이 지금 건설하고 수비를 잘하고 있느냐가 중요해요. 아, 이거 무리인데요, 조금.
Alright. Oh, he got the obs. But he killed the lurkers first, so it doesn't matter as much. Hey, Fake Finn, how's it going? The Protoss is Much, who was a very solid Protoss player for Team CJ. Yeah, now he doesn't know where more lurkers are. True. Sneaky lurkers always burrowing, being all hidey and stuff. How you doing, Fake Finn? Has anyone caught on to you being a Finn? Not being a Finn yet? Has anyone discovered your fakeness? Not even storm drop, just a storm. He just walked up and stormed some drones. Damn, that's a lot of lings. Who would win? A million Zergling boys or one Psy Storm?
인구 200 채우면서 계속 압박, 조금씩 천천히 전진하는 거죠, 박영민 선수는요.
그래도 이제는
Fakeness is not very hidden. I guess that's true, isn't it? This lurker's having a day of its life. Oh, never mind, it's dead.
프로토스가 지치죠. 그런 상황일 때는 만들겠다는 것입니다.
특히 이재동의 공격력이라고 한다면 자원 많이 먹고 병력 많으면 이재동이 200 프로토스가 뭐가 무섭겠습니까?
그 사이에 병력 많이 또 추가시키긴 했는데 역시나 지형 싸움에서
If you got a High Templar with infinite energy, that would be fun to do actually. You set up a UMS with a High Templar with infinite energy and just have a stream of lings coming in and see how many kills you could get on the Templar before you finally missed and died or something. Maybe give the Templar a couple hundred hit points just to make it last longer.
그래서 그게 일단 이재동 선수의 마음이 급해지게 되는 원인이 되고 있고요. 박영민 선수는 멀티를 원하는 타이밍에 가져가지 못했지만 어차피 한방 병력의 응집된 힘이 저기보다 강하기만 하면 이긴다는
Yeah, I mean, I guess you
겁니다.
couldn't fit a million Zerglings in one size
이
storm.
지역만 지키고 있어요.
Oh, is it not on?
병력 끌려가면 안 돼요.
네, 바로 이런 점 때문에 카트리나가 프로토스가 적에게
Sorry, I forgot to turn that on.
아, 이렇게 싸우기 전에
프로토스가 별로 급할 게 없어요.
네.
서서히 조여온단 말이에요.
로커 체력이 이렇게 빠지기 시작하면 한 번에 쫙 밀려요.
What?
이제 뭐 드랍을 한다든지 해야 되는데 또 드랍을 시도한 만큼 또 손해도 많은 게 적의 입장이고요.
네, 이제 뒤를 치는 것도 용이치 않습니다.
Alright, let's see.
캐논 많거든요.
Turning on right now.
꽉 풀려있으면 정면 승부를 해보겠는데 언덕을 계속 끌고 있고 지형이 프로토스를
Alright.
유리하니까
Should be connected.
급한 마음이 없어요. 천천히 모아가지고
네.
압박을 해준다는 거죠.
이제도 이병력을 이렇게 그냥 대기만 시켜놓은 선수가 이제 맵의 특성상 그렇습니다. 또 박영민이 저 느긋하게 가고 있어요.
그렇죠. 그리고 지금 이제
Alright, the Overlord should be working now. There you go, there's your Overlord. What season is this? This is from 2008. I'm not sure what season that means. But it's one of the, you know, I guess they just call it by years, right? But I don't, let's see, it's 2008, it's July of 2008, so it's probably the second half, the second season of the year. Of 2000, yeah, 2008.
박영민 선수가 정말 침착하게 자신 할 것만 하고 있습니다.
I don't know if that answers your question. Ooh, nice little plague.
다크섬도 기본이 돼야 됩니다.
네, 버텨야 돼. 컨트롤하면서 버텨야 돼요.
Plague is actually really good, isn't it? I think because Zealots and Dragoons both have more hit points than shields, right? So Plague is actually pretty effective.
그래서 일단 드랍을 본인 지역을 한번 노리겠다라는 건가요?
Yeah, Cracklings are like the best unit in the game, I think. Honestly. 25 minerals, 1000 DPS.
예, 그리고
insane.
병력이 모이던 곳이 아닌 지역에서 오버로드가 왔기 때문에 아예 그냥 페이크 썸으로
Where are these Overlords going? Oh, he did a fake drop.
병력이 본진으로 빠졌거든요. 그 사이에
This is so weird. This like Powerade drink that I have smells like tomatoes. But I don't know if it's because I just ate tomatoes. Oh, he didn't quite storm all the lings. Nexus dies.
이재동 선수의 오버로드 완전히 헐리우드 나무지연상감인데요.
The fake drop into. Oh, is this a real drop though? I think it's a real drop this time. I bet it's real. Yep, it's a real one. Where's the swarm? Where's the swarm? There it is. Doesn't even matter. Cannons are going on so quick, but actually then he can target the Nexus and the Templar Archive. He's gonna get the Templar Archives too, actually. Good old Plague Darkon. Is he gonna get the Nexus? He got the Archives. He didn't get the Citadel, so he can rebuild the Archives if he needs to. But Much is at one base right now. He's at one base, so I don't know what we're gonna do here.
네, 정말 경기에 대한 집중력이 대단합니다. 이재동 선수.
I still want to make a Plagued Archon emote. I actually was thinking about making it today. But I just didn't end up having time. I do have more emotes coming though. I actually spent a little bit of money and I commissioned some cool emotes from someone on Fiverr. You can actually get gigs on Fiverr really cheap. As cheap as $5 to make things like emotes and stuff like that. So I should have some more emotes coming pretty soon. And I got a couple, and yeah, this game is over. This is Katrina. This map is Katrina. Which is like still a little awkward. They called it Katrina because the shape is like a spinning hurricane, but it's kind of like, I don't know, it feels like a little bit rude to name it after a storm that like killed tons of people and like, you know, made thousands of people homeless and cause mass destruction and
그래도 이건 멀티하다. 미네랄이
suffering, and they're like, haha, it's a hurricane map.
디파일러와 저글링 조합이 정면 승부만 했을 경우에는 프로토스도 대응이 아까
Your
이것도
original Brood War install.
이거 혹시 리콜했다라고 생각할 수 있어요. 일단 이 시기가
뭐야, 쟤.
진짜 어이가 없겠네요. 지금 선수. 일단 대기예요.
He's just running his cracklings around looking for targets now.
제대로 내 크로킹 기능을
Making sure there's no other nexuses hidden or something like that.
예, 정말 은폐.
Coliseum. It's good maps. Katrina was pretty good map.
아, 그렇죠.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I liked a lot of the games on it. Games on it ended up being pretty good, but it's a very interesting map. So hard for someone like a Protoss to get a third base.
이 언덕 가서 하이템플러의 사이언성으로 미네랄 멀티 한번 지어주게 되면 일단 이재동 선수 역시 자원이 그렇게 막 넘쳐나는
So difficult for the Zerg to get its 10th base. Ugh. Poor Zergs. This game has had no reaction shots. Didn't they show? I thought they showed much once earlier. That was some 6 storms right there. Nice. Blanketed that whole area. That was really good. I don't think he killed all the drones, but it still looked good. See, look, wasn't that one right there? Wait, didn't they just show one though? Yeah, see, there's. Well, it's a shot of him, I guess. It's not a reaction shot. It's just showing him. Okay. Yeah, this game is over. This game is pretty much over. I'm not sure why much is still in the game at this point. He never even rebuilt his natural. At the bottom left, he just yeah. See, there it is. It's just empty. And those lurkers are outside of his main. He's contained. He wants to see the ultras. Did I get like a sneaky host or something that I didn't notice? I have more viewers than usual. Well, I guess not. I guess people like StarCraft. There must be no one else streaming right now. Well, if anyone's new, welcome to the watch party. There's the ultras. Artosis is streaming? Okay. He is the king of the Brood War viewership. Yeah, here's the final blow. Oh, Artosis only has 1.7 thousand, so he left a few for the rest of us. Come on, get out, get out, get out, Much. I love you, but it's over. Does he really just go like wait till he gets eliminated here or something? Ah, painful. Alright, whatever. This game is done. Come on. Come on. GG so we can move on to the next one. What is he? I don't understand what he thinks is going to happen right now. He has nothing. The last time I showed him, he was still moving too. Like, he was still active. Like, he was going to somehow come back or something like that. Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're gonna get eliminated, you want to get out first just to save yourself the embarrassment, right? Alright, well now I'm curious to see how long he's gonna stay in this game.
아, 저글링의 승리네요. 저글링의 승리. 정말 승부를 가르는데 오버로드가 앞에 서서 딱 어떤 역할을 해주면 저글링이 딱 깃발 꽂고 오는 역할을 충실했어요.
네. 자, 이제 막판 싸움 병력 집결해서
He's trying to get another base in weird spots too. Like, you don't usually see those expansions taken. Maybe he wants to make J. You know what? That's actually not a bad idea, because if Jaedong wins this game, it goes to an ace match. And who are they going to send out for the ace match other than Jaedong? They're probably not going to send much out. Like CJ has a bigger roster, I guess. I don't know who CJ would send out actually. But yeah, make Jaedong play an extra 10-15 minutes unnecessarily, so he's a little bit more tired for the ace match. It's actually not a bad plan. It's a really smart thought. He's literally got no nexuses right now. He's building one, but it's about to die. Wait, hold on. Did they just show much? Was he still like at his keyboard? There's the GG. I wonder, you know, much. He might have thought that. He might have thought like, I'm gonna drag this out as long as I can. And Jaedong does look tired. I want to check now. Okay, let's actually check. This was from July 13th, or let's see, wait, July 5th. So, Jaedong. Let's see if we can find. Oh, let's see, League. What was this? It was 2008 Shinhan Pro League. Let's see. July 5th. Oh, nope, he didn't play the ace match actually, because here's that game on the 5th. And if he played another game, it would have also been on the 5th, but he only has that one game on the 5th. Maybe that's why. Maybe because he got tired out. You know? Let's see who ended up playing the ace match. July 5th. Come on. Here we go. July 5th. Jaedong. Oh, where's the next one? Jaedong. So here's Jaedong Much. So the ace match was for Gigi versus Memory? What team was for Gigi on? He was on Oz. Okay. Oh, so for Gigi versus Memory was the ace match. Do we want to watch that? I don't know if we want to watch that. Doesn't seem as cool, because these were the games of that set, these 5 right there, and then this was the next set on the same day at different teams. So I don't know, do you guys want to watch that ace match between 4GG or just move on and watch something else? I cannot read the chat there. Watch the doubles on Hannibal? Alright, that sounds like a good idea. NBS Quanro versus Two Sky and Backhoe? Talk about the minor leagues. Alright, let's see if we can get the colors here. You saw Dark Archons? What, like in the thumbnail? Alright. Wait, I missed the colors. Here we go. Okay. So, oh, that's kind of nice. Both of the yellowy colors are one team and both the bluey colors are the other team. CJ's blue and Lake Calf is yellow. Very convenient. Yeah, I'm on board. You know, I've actually been thinking I want to watch more 2v2 games anyways. Because that one day that I don't know if you were here the day we watched all 2v2 games all day. And some of the games were just absolutely insane and awesome. It was amazing. Like 2v2 games get crazy. Some of them were dumb, but some of them got crazy. But I actually am planning on doing some Pro League casting on YouTube. Because I've been doing a lot of Star Leagues, but I haven't been doing any Pro League, and so I have a Pro League series planned out. But I'm probably not going to get to that too soon. It's probably going to be a month or so before I get to that, because I have another series planned before that I want to do. So, but anyway, but casting 2v2s is really hard though. It's so hard to keep track of everybody. All right, so CJ is the right side of the map. Lakecaf is the left side of the map. Is he proxying? He's doing a proxy here. I'm just gonna turn this off for now. He's doing some sort of, I guess, proxy gates. And they're pretty close to, I guess we'll see here. Yeah, the Zerg is nearby, so Jikido 12. I can't read out what that says. Oh, but this is the CJ players are actually talking to each other, I think. They're actually typing to each other. That's interesting. They can't talk to each other because they're in the soundproof booths. They actually have to type about what they're doing. Oh, that is fascinating. I never thought of that. I thought for some reason that they'd be able to chat. Like voice chat. Oh, the Overlord found the proxy gate. It's just one proxy gate, though. Just the one. That's so weird. For some reason, I just assumed that they would be able to talk to each other in the booth. But they're actually, you can see Conroe just did some typing also. Conroe was played for CJ, right? I think he did, so. 2v2 is so weird. The builds are like so different than you'd expect. Because you have to be worried about rushes all the time. Nice defense. Oh, he didn't put any back on gas. That's interesting. So he must have just gotten enough for speedlings, and now he's going to go for macrolings, I guess. Protoss is nice and secure. I don't even know very much about this map. I mean, obviously it's like 2v2 map, so I didn't watch a lot of games on it, I don't think. Although I guess I probably did back in the day. I watched all the 2v2 games back in the day. I've probably seen this game before, maybe. Alright, cleaned up the proxy gate. And that proxy gate did no damage, basically. They only sent in one zealot. It got scouted. The zealot did very little. Hey! Thank you for the host, Coach Pupil League. What's up, CPLers? Welcome to another watch party. How was the CPL today? Are you guys in the... I think last time someone said you guys were like coming up on the playoffs, right? Are you guys in the playoffs now? CPL. Right now we're watching a 2v2 match, which is a little bit unusual, between CJ and Lakecaf Oz. And it's kind of interesting. Luckily, we ended up in a situation where both of the like orange players, like orange and yellow that seem similar color, are the same team, and both of the blue-green colors are the same team also. So it's kind of easy to tell what's going on. So it's I think it's ZP versus ZP. I think they picked Protoss. I don't think either of them went random. I think Max used to go random in 2v2, but I don't think most players went random. But I'm not sure. Ling's running in. Oh, just right past the Sunkens. How many drones are they gonna get? 2? 2 drones?
예, 그래도 이렇게 딱 흔들어주는 플레이는 나쁘지
Not terrible.
않습니다.
가만히 있으면 안 됩니다.
Could be a lot worse.
태클하는 여러 가지가 좋지 않아요 지금. 자, 그리고 이제
Yeah, exactly. Because if you get double Zerg because you go Zerg and random and the person gets Zerg, if you get double Zerg, you just double Zergling rush and you just win.
감안했어야 되는데 그 위치가
So,
생각이 들고
how's it going, Diggity?
대응을 상당히
Hope today's treating you well. I guess I'll put something up here.
야, 예, 그리고 지금 프로브 생산하면서 뭐 다크 템플러와 아칸 그리고 발업질러까지 모아주려는 예, 지금 손찬호
I'll put
선수입니다.
this on, but I don't even remember who all the players were. This is a 2v2 match, so it's gonna be bonkers.
급격히 늘어나고 있습니다 게이트가.
It's gonna be bonkers. The 2v2 matches just tend to be kind of bonkers, don't they? Because there's so much stuff going on. This might be less bonkers because it's only 2 races involved.
예, 사이버가 올라갔을
But I can't even remember the name of all the players. I'm not even gonna try and remember them because it's so hard to remember the names of all the players in 2v2 anyway. Plus, this is Quanro and 3 like people I have no idea who they are.
2명 다 이수가 있습니다.
NBS I think was the name of one of them.
템까지 이제 템프로 태클을 타고 있어요.
Oh, actually, okay. So NBS and Quanro versus 2Sky and Backhoe.
선수의 오버를 싹 걷어내고 마찬가지로
So,
옆으로 가서 센터를 장악해야죠. 지금
there you go. I guess I know Backhoe is a Protoss player.
그 이후에 템플 아카이브 빨리빨리 안 들어야죠.
네.
예, 이거 태클 타는 플레이는
Usually Slate Zero, those are the same thing.
상대편의 의도를 지금
Usually if you weren't good enough to really be
꼬고 또 꼬고 있어요.
a 1v1 player, you ended up being a 2v2 specialist.
뭐 지금 손찬호 선수가 예, 가장 부유하게 진행이 되고 있는데요.
I think. I could be, I might be biased though. I might be biased.
말씀하신 대로 다크 템플러와
These are their pro 2v2 players. They train only 2v2. Not Quanro. Quanro wasn't an only 2v2 player. Backhoe played individual as well sometimes.
저글링 입장에서는
I think.
아직 손찬호의
Maybe just in the Star Leagues though.
있거든요. 야,
He got promoted.
한상봉이 상대편에 또 뒤를
Yeah, Quanro was Mr. All-In. What is the Protoss player doing there? I didn't see. Because he's got a wall with zealots on the ramp and cannons behind the zealots. But I don't know what they're doing. I guess they're just making more zealots and setting them on the map. Okay, there's an Archon too.
한번 지금 찔러줄 생각이죠.
Yeah, that ramp is not getting broken, I don't think. Oh, is it though? No, it's not. He might kill the Sunks, but like,
거꾸로 싸웠어요. 그렇죠. 서로
yeah.
위치가 가장 중요한데
That was a bit pointless. Losing a bunch of lings for no reason.
질럿 저글링은 아무것도 아니죠.
Bit weird.
덩큰 뚫어버려서 그 자원 낭비하게 만들고 유타를 몇 번 찜질해줘서
That was, of course, Quanro throwing away a bunch of Zerglings.
대다 새 겁니다.
That's right, Quanro. I forgot about that.
수비가 어느 정도 되나요?
Quanro was so aggressive when he won. You'd say, "Oh, he got Quan rolled."
지금 커세어를 간 게 게이트를 가면서 오히려 속였다고
He was a maniac. He was totally a maniac.
커세어가 날아다니겠습니까? 이 지금
2Sky is the other Zerg player.
많은 병력이 필요 없어요.
2Sky, who I guess he must have been a 2v2 specialist also, because I barely remember hearing that name.
커세어가 있어야죠.
Yeah, it's so old. It's Lake Half Oz. It's not even Hwaseong.
그렇습니다. 그래서 커세어를 딱 상대 적을 제압할 수 있을 만큼 생산. 예, 그리고 같은 팀
And now some ZVZ happenings.
아, 여기서
Scourge chasing Mutalisks, but then
뭐
Corsairs protecting Mutalisks
준비돼가지고 캐논을
doesn't happen too often.
아까 두기를 어떻게
예, 뮤탈 조심해야 됩니다.
There's 2 Archons chasing these Mutalisks around. The Mutalisks are like, ah, can't catch us.
데미지가 너무나도 지금 많이 있기 때문에 조심하면서 움직여야 돼요.
그리고 손찬호의 안마당 쪽을 이제 어떻게 해결할 생각인지 손찬호 저러다 버티면 진짜 또 거의 뭐
Oh,
아칸
there's the Darkon.
카카는 필수. 뭐 최근에 선수들이 다 생각하고 있는 부분이고요.
There's the Dark Archon.
안마당까지 가져가고 있는 손찬호
Queen's Nest.
이러면
Interesting.
해법을 서도 준비를 해야 됩니다.
Interesting.
조합은 아마도 가디언
Dark Archon is so good.
커세어가 공중을
Can
나가고
you-
있으니까 커세어의 호의.
You can Maelstrom Zealots, right? But you can't Maelstrom basically much else for the Protoss, can you? Obviously, you can Maelstrom Mutalisks as well, which is probably the reason why. But
네, 그렇습니다. 그리고 지금 이제 김정환 선수가 히드라덴이 건설이 돼 있었는데
ensnare on multi for the toss, meaning just ensnare on a lot of units. Yeah, that's true.
쉽게 되고 있는데요.
Yeah, 2v2s are just so wacky.
선수가 이번 경기를 가져가려면 패시브 손찬우 선수입니다. 멀티 빠르고 마치 그 스파키즈의 전태기 선수의 상황처럼
Just some casual 13-minute Mutalisk harass.
혼자서 1.5는 담당을 해줘야 돼요.
Mutalisk just killing a hatchery in the corner of a base.
해체를 깼고
kind of weird. Quando's just like losing Hydras and stuff to these random mutas.
예, 정말 없는 빈틈도 만들고 예, 비집고 들어가는 이런 플레이가 굉장히 좋고요.
Yeah, that's true. If you ensnare the mutas, they're easier to catch too. I think the ensnare might be for the Corsairs though. Because ensnare nerfs Corsairs a lot and you can actually beat them. What is going on? Quandro is just like losing all of his stuff in his base. Like, what are they doing? He just lost his Spire. His teammate is just over here building Archons and not helping to defend, I guess. I mean, it's a successful Archons, but like... successful. There's a lot of Archons, but still, like... I guess the other Protoss... 2 Sky already got the Corsairs, right? So... Or wait, the teal Protoss is the one with the Corsairs, and that is... Backho. So Backho has all the Corsairs, so Backho kind of has air control now. So... 2 Sky, the other Protoss, the orange Protoss, is like, well, I'm gonna get ground units then, and go Archons, because I can't contest the air. So. Is he cannoning the cannons? What the hell? It's cannon versus cannon. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a pro game before. Oh, that Maelstrom was so sick. But he doesn't have enough DPS to actually kill them before they come out of it. The Archons are too late. Oh no. Second Maelstrom? Second Maelstrom? How did he not? Maelstrom's only like 50 energy, isn't it? I don't know why he didn't have enough for a second Maelstrom there. Yeah, the top cannon's gonna win. I don't think I've ever seen a cannon and another cannon attacking each other in a pro game before. Oh man. So that's kind of funny that they've got like this little camp out spot with cannons above the minerals to stop the cannons from protecting and also make sure you can't mine from that new base. Maelstrom was 100? Okay, well, that explains it then, I guess. It's not 4 colors, it's 2 colors. It's greenish blue and orangish yellow. Just think of it as 2 colors. See, the orange and the yellow are almost identical anyway. Yeah, bluish and yellowish. Because the teal is really kind of bluish anyway, right? Oh, he's picking off Templar, nice. Good storms though, actually. Team Fire versus Team I went to a park. I was thinking like Ocean. Team Fire versus Team Water or something like that. Everything was peaceful on this map until the Fire Nation attacked. I went to a park. I guess that's true though. Blue and teal is like, you know, water and trees or something like that. I don't know. But you can have teal water also. Yeah, Quandro's just wrecked now. He never rebuilt his Spire, it seems. So they went Corsairs and forced both the CJ players to go ground units, Archons and on Hydralisks. And then they just outplayed them with mobility, it looks like. Now there's Guardians over here. Guardians being protected by cannons. Nice. Cute little storm drop. I guess the Hydras are out. Okay, yeah, well, the mutas are dead, but the Corsairs are still alive, so... I think it is probably over, yeah. This is so funny to see Guardians, because one of the problems with Guardians in 1v1 play is that you can never protect them, right? It's just so hard to protect them. And when you have a bunch of Corsairs, it's easy to protect them, I guess. Although I guess not against Archons or Templar, so maybe not. JK, that doesn't make sense. But they can't get scourged or hit by other Corsairs, I guess. Quanro's losing his natural to a single DT, just chopping away at this hatchery. Quanro dives back into the Psy Storm to take more damage and do more attacking. Yeah, Guardians can definitely be good. It's really interesting to you see sometimes. This is Quanro's last. This is CJ's last stand, I should say. Trying to break backhoe right now with just Archons and Hydras. And actually, I couldn't tell whose Hydras are whose, but looks like they are gonna break this. That's actually so many Archons. And he storms the high ground to force the High Templar back. He's killed all the enemy High Templar. He can actually breach the ramp now. A full 2v2 league would have been insane. That would have been insane. Do you mean like a full team league, or you mean like a tournament, like a 2v2 tournament where the teams play against each other in best of fives or something? Oh, that would be really interesting. A 2v2 ladder, yeah. I used to play 2v2 a lot. All right, now they're leaving the game. Did they win? What is going on? I'm confused. Oh, that's right. Two Sky was the other Zerg. That wasn't Quanro getting killed. That was Two Sky that got killed. This is why I hate 2v2s. I always get so confused by who is whom. So Two Sky was the other Zerg, and he got killed off. He actually got eliminated. So he actually had left the game without GGing. But Backhoe is the orange Protoss and is like trying to break the teal Protoss basically to try and see if he can trade teammates or something. Archon's walking by Guardians. Oh no. Okay, there they go. Nice kills. Yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna do once you're dead? You know, you still have to sit there. You can't leave. That one Guardian is still just killing all the buildings that the expansion. This is so bonkers. I used to play a lot of 2v2 in college when I first played StarCraft. Because I'd play with friends, and so we would just join 2v2 games on Battle.net. 2v2 Lost Temple, basically, just join them up. Back when you couldn't really even join, like, well, I guess you still have to do it that way, can't you? If you're joining a game and you want to join with a friend, you have to like try and join at the same time, so you both get into the game with the 2 slots, right? Otherwise, you get into a game and then someone else joins the slot and you have to leave because you need to make room for their teammate or something. The good old days. But that was a lot of fun. That's probably one of the reasons why I played so much StarCraft, actually, is because I would play 2v2s with people, and you know, it'd be just like, oh, that was good. One more game? What do you think? Should we play one more game? And then the sun would come up. Oops. You make room for 2v2? Yeah, I mean, sometimes you could. I don't know, it worked out pretty well. We were able to join a lot of 2v2 games. Or we would start 2v2 games, right? Or someone would join and they'd be like, oh, my partner wants to join, can you kick so-and-so, you know? Nice little storm. Okay, it's time to exit. Time to exit the game, Backhoe. But he's got these Archons. He would wants to keep using them.
가디언 함부로 지금 나설 때가 아니에요.
Oh my god. Is he really gonna let that guardian die?
저 가디언은 진짜 섬세한 조정해야 돼요.
He's distance mining. DT attacking a DT. That's not something you see very often either, even in Protoss versus Protoss.
또 뚫을 수도 있는 상황 아니겠습니까? 일단 저
A Dark Templar attacking another Dark Templar.
여유가 있다면 하이템플러 몇 개 정도를 7시 언덕 지역에 두고 쌓여있는 스톰으로 상대방의 병력의 체력을 깎아주는 플레이가 필요하겠네요.
Guys, I'm excited about the new emotes I got coming. I'm excited. I'm not even sure what they're gonna be, because I left a lot of it up to the creativity of the person who I ordered from. Yeah, I don't know if I'm sure they can probably talk, right? Or maybe they can't, because earlier they were typing messages to each other, so maybe they're not allowed to talk to each other out loud, because you need them to not be able to hear, right? So if they can't hear, they won't even be able to hear the person next to them talking. And if you're out of if you've exited the game, you can't even type to them anymore. So I guess they're just nothing you can do. There's the GG finally. Gee, Jesus, that took a long time. So Quanro and NBS just won the game. I could not have told you NBS was a pro gamer if you'd asked me. Anyway, are there any other 2v2 games here? Oh, look at this game. Jaedong versus Bogus on Circuit Breaker? That sounds like a great game to watch. Oh, look, it's a moletrap commentary that's just uploaded today. How about Ruby versus Jaedong? You guys want to watch that? A long, epic TVZ? Or maybe it's not that long. The VOD starts at like 8 minutes almost. Let me know if you guys have any requests, by the way. Whether it be a certain game, or a certain player that you want to watch, or a certain matchup or something like that, or a certain tournament. Just LMK, what you want to see, and we'll pull it on here. But I usually just, if no one's saying anything, I just, you know, pull up whatever kind of looks good that's recommended by YouTube to watch next. Yeah, so I think the other player just has to sit in shame, basically. That would be really funny, though. A compilation of not being able to get out of the door would be pretty hilarious. Happens a lot. All right, take care, State Zero. Thanks for coming by with your crew.
We feel your presence.
Hey, Fake Fin. Thank you so much for the subscription. Oh man, it didn't work. See, I've got some stuff automatically set up. It's supposed to react to subscriptions. Or maybe it did work, actually. JK, maybe it did work, because it might have been in the background. I feel like this VOD is really low volume, by the way, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit, but let me know if it's too... Let me know what you guys think about the sound balance. Anyway, oh, okay, so yeah, so... You should have gotten a whisper from me on Twitch, if the automatic thing worked that I thought it would. But thank you so much for the Prime subscription. Amazon Prime BDW, if any of you guys watching are Amazon Prime members and you haven't used your free subscription yet, make sure you do, whether it's with me or someone else. It's free money for the streamers that you enjoy. One day moletrap will automatically whisper someone. I think, oh, and yeah, actually, the other thing, it was supposed to be something in chat too. I don't know why it didn't do the chat. It was supposed to put hearts, or no, what was it supposed to do? Sorry. Yeah, I thought I had it set up that it was supposed to, like, say thank you in the chat when someone subs, and then show the emotes that you can use. But it's not working apparently, so I'm not sure why it didn't work. I'll have to work on that. Figure it out. But I think the Whisper did. I think the Whisper might have worked because then Optimator, who was the previous subber, he responded to the Whisper. So I guess I could check, can't I, in my own whispers? No, it didn't work. I don't know why it's not working. Thank you for lurking. Yep, I'm back. Hope you're enjoying in the background. Anyway, thank you, Fake Finn. Much appreciated. Enjoy all of the emotes, and enjoy. You're gonna have more emotes, probably by next stream. If not by next stream, actually, it might not be my next stream. But by next week for sure, there's gonna be more emotes. Yeah, man. One day, AI will be good enough to upscale all the old Brew World VODs to 1080. Maybe. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to make any promises. But I will say that there's people working on it. I don't know if it's possible right now, though. I don't know if the AI is good enough right now to actually make it work. But I think we're gonna find out, hopefully. But yeah, maybe we might have to wait. Might have to wait for AI to improve a couple more years for it to be able to figure stuff out too. Because a lot of the AI that's been developed right now for upscaling video is for normal video, not video games. Like, it's for people doing stuff and movies and TV shows and stuff like that, you know? So I actually tried a bunch of AI upscaling programs on some old VODs, and they didn't do anything because they weren't really able to. They weren't programmed to do video game videos. They were programmed to do other stuff. So he really wants that temple dead. Why is he killing that temple? The temple is like protecting his back door from. It's protecting from the Zerg attacking him from behind in his main. Why is Ruby actually killing his own temple? It's protecting his back entrance. Not sure. Get that Google AI that draws weird things? What? I haven't heard of that. How's the audio, by the way? I still feel like it's kind of quiet, but it might just be my headphones. Hello there, Daniel Landers? See if I can read this. Hwa Ijedong Min Changi Gyeonggi. Ha 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 ha. Something about Jaedong and Ruby, I think, right? I'm not sure what he's saying though. I gotta change this. Jaedong versus Ruby. Oh. Some Zerglings dying. Are you from Korea, Daniel? Oh! Elimir! Thank you so much for that raid! Or the host. It said host instead of raid. For some reason. Where to go? Man, all my automatic stuff isn't working today! Where is it? Here we go. I have to do it manually. Thank you for the raid, Elimir. It's good to see you. I actually checked earlier. I didn't see you streaming earlier, but you must have signed on after I looked. But, welcome, everybody. Welcome all of my fellow Elimirians as well. By the way, those of you that are here watching StarCraft, if you want to watch a really cool, chill variety streamer, it's really nice and has a cool community, drop a follow to Elimir. She plays a lot of cool stuff, and she plays some chill stuff, and then also some like crazy zombie games and stuff like that as well. So lots of different things. But hello, everybody. If you are new to this stream, we're watching some old StarCraft games. If you aren't aware of it, StarCraft was basically the first esport. And in Korea, there was a pro scene going back all the way to the year 2000. And all the best players were in Korea. So since I used to be a professional StarCraft caster and StarCraft 2 caster and League of Legends caster, I host these watch parties a couple times a week. And we watch the old greats. We watch the legendary players from the olden days of like the early 2000s, you know. And esports 15 years ago was a long time, okay? So, but yeah, we watched the old legendary players playing the cool games from back in the day. So that's what we're doing right now. So if you are played StarCraft before, but you're not familiar with the scene, these are the best players that have ever lived. They used to play 10 to 14 hours a day and make lots of money in tournaments and stuff like that. And it's just amazing what they can do with the game because they just play it so much that they've basically perfected it. It's pretty crazy. So Jaedong is the Zerg player, who's the green aliens, for those of you that are not familiar with StarCraft. And Ruby is the user ID of the Terran player who's playing the human players basically right now. So it's awkward foreigner to see a Korean games. A little bit. There are many foreigners who like Korean games though. Anyway, let me catch up on the, now that I've kind of explained what's going on. Let me catch up on some of the chat here. Mona Lisa Dream Effect. Oh, you're talking about the AI stuff. I might have to check that out later. Let's see here. Oh, Ellie might not be around. Okay, I'll have to message her later then. Love StarCraft 1. Yeah, I mean, esports, the thing is esports never died out in Korea, really. It shifted around. I guess it had a difficult phase in like 2010, 11, but right in that point in 2011, League of Legends became an esport in Korea anyway, and that took off. So in Korea, esports never really went away. And I think Korean esports, because it was so successful in Korea, is part of the reason why esports became a big thing in the rest of the world as well. So, hey Chris, how's it going? Yeah, Ruby was very good. He was kind of like Sea Shield, where he never really, you know, won a tournament, but he was still a very strong player that you had to watch out for. Yep, games never die in Korea. Yep. Flamebot Rush or Stimpack Rush? By Flamebot, do you mean the Firebats? Firebats were not usually used in this at this time period, basically, of the professional sports. This is a game from 2011. In like 2000 to like 2006, Firebats were used a lot. But after 2007, you didn't usually see Firebats that much in professional play. And now they've made a comeback, actually. Like in 2021, you'll see Firebats more often again. So it's kind of interesting how the metagame has shifted over the years. My favorite player in StarCraft 1 is Queen, aka Zero. I forgot his Korean name. Let me see. Queen Zero. Zero is... Oh yeah, Kim Myung-woon. Sorry, Kim Myung-woon is my favorite player. For a long time. Even in 2010, he was my favorite player. And now he's a champion. ASL champion. It's been a while. I mean, yeah, this game is 23 years old. So my favorite player is his Korean name is Kim Myung-woon. Kim Myung-un, and his tag back in this time was Zero, but recently he's changed it to Queen. Oh, is he gonna get a swarm down? Yeah, he's gonna protect that base. Man, Jaedong is so good at getting those swarms up just in time to protect his expansions. Or did you mean what is gamertag? Like, what is a gamertag? It's just that in Korea, they refer to them by their names, but we usually know them as their ID, like their in-game name, basically. Yeah, lurkers are fun. Okay, I wasn't sure, man. I was like... I thought you knew. We've had a lot of new people here today that didn't know StarCraft, and so, like, I'm kind of in a mode of, like, trying to explain things more simply for people, too. So when you're like, what is gamertag? I was like, well, maybe he just doesn't know what I mean by gamertag. Ooh. Those lurkers really went to work on those, vultures. Anyway, I think I missed a couple follows too. Daniel Landers and Bulp3, thank you for the follows. How's everyone doing today? What was how was Elamir's stream? What was she up to today? More of the farming? More of the Farmville? GW2. Oh, that's right. She's been playing Guild Wars again. And of course, Stream Raiders. You know, I've thought about starting up Stream Raiders. I don't know if my StarCraft viewers would want to do Stream Raiders though. It's hard to say. But I'm actually developing. I'm probably not actually. Now that I think about it, I'm probably not going to do Stream Raiders because I'm actually developing my own StarCraft-based stream minigame. So I'm hoping to have that up by next week. I'm hoping to have that completed by next week. The main problem, actually, the main thing that's been slowing me down is figuring out a custom AI map for the things to work. Rug Monkey. It's an interesting name. You often wonder if the guys who are winning now just the ones who managed to avoid wrist injuries. Actually, no, because Flash did get a wrist injury. He had to get surgery on his wrist, and after the surgery, he still came back and played more, and he still was able to be a champion even after that. So, oh, those Marines, get out of there! I mean, Ruby's playing this really well, and I like the siege tanks, but Jaedong's just playing really, I would say, precisely with defending everything with these Dark Storms and everything like that. Cast Swarm twice? I don't know. Did he do it twice in a row? Sometimes you do it because your Devourer is gonna die, and you just want to... Oh, the tanks in the back are defenseless! If your Devourer is gonna die... I'm sorry, Defiler is gonna die, you might just want to get an extra spell down to extend the time of the Swarm. I don't know. Very old ID name? Still on Team Liquid? Nice. I have a pretty old ID on Team Liquid also. Or, I guess, actually, I used to have a different name on Team Liquid. On Team Liquid, my name is Moletrap, and in my signature line, it says, AKA Moletrap. Because my name used to be F10ESQFTW, and then at the bottom, I put AKA Moletrap, so people knew who I was. But then, several years later, one of the admins helped me change it, so it actually just said Moletrap. It might have been Flash's elbow, you're right. But Larva, who won the last ASL, which is the biggest, the only major StarCraft tournament right now, Larva just dropped out of the next season of ASL, which is Africa StarCraft League, or Africa Star League, because ostensibly because of his wrist. I think some people suspect it might be because he wants to get out while he's ahead and winning. Some people might suspect that he's embarrassed because he was caught up with the cryptocurrency scandal a little bit, and people aren't sure how involved he was. So, but apparently what he said is that his wrist is not healthy, and so he needs to stop playing for a little bit. So a lot of the older programmers have had wrist injuries at one point or another. Moletrap's art as a foreign procaster. Not anymore. Oh, look at this drop. There's nothing there, though. He can just lift the command center if he's on top of it. This is kind of a crazy game. If you look at the mini-map in the bottom left corner, you can kind of see the territory each player has. And Ruby, who's the orange player, actually has a significant amount of territory. Like, his presence on the map is pretty wide. Yeah, Koreans play games too much. Sometimes, yeah. Oh, he's been putting off taking a break for a while. I mean, that's a good time, though. If you, like, finally get the championship, right? That's like, okay, now I can kind of relax. I did what I set out to do. But at the same time, it's like, oh, but he could get another championship when he's on top. It's hard to quit when you're on top, you know? One of the things I like about this, if you guys, again, if this is your first time here, one of the things I like about this too is because StarCraft is such an international thing, we get people in here from all over the world. I think the last time I streamed, we had people from Guatemala, Canada, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, I think. Bulgaria, of course. Lots of people from around the world. Korea also. And the United States. Oh, and Sweden. There was someone here from Sweden, too. So it's kind of fun to, like, hang out with people from around the world and have, like, a shared thing to watch. Yeah, I think there was someone from New Zealand last time. I could be wrong. I might be remembering it incorrectly, but... Yeah, is Larva still streaming then? Is Larva still streaming even though he's dropped out of the ASL? Because he could probably play a lot less if he's streaming, but he still has to play if he's streaming. So... Yeah, Jadong is losing a lot of units, but he has 6 bases. So he can kind of afford to throw away some units. But it's really interesting that Ruby has switched into mech. He didn't start off mech, he started off bio, and then he just got the tanks for the late game. And now he's getting vultures and stuff, and Goliaths and whatever. Okay, he plays kind of meme games and stuff. Makes sense. I wonder if that's light enough that he can actually still not further injure his wrist, right? Because sometimes you have to do like if you get an injury, you have to do no activity. I had a shoulder injury a couple years ago, and I was not supposed to use this arm for anything. For lifting anything over 5 pounds. So like I couldn't take in groceries with this arm. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't work out obviously at the gym or anything, but I couldn't do anything. And it got to the point where it was like a depression. Like my shoulders looked like this. Where I'd used my left arm so much less that the muscle had atrophied and you could actually physically see the difference between my shoulders. It was kind of crazy. But that took me, I had to do no activity for several months in order for that to heal. So like if I'd done a little bit of activity, it would never have healed. Minions, you must have a bunch of channel points to burn. The overlords are fun though. Yeah, again, if you guys are new here, also, if you don't know, I got some channel point redemptions that are free. That if you get some points, you can have stuff pop up on the screen. It's kind of fun, and that's actually part of the mini game that I'm going to be putting together in the next week.